Monaco striker Falcao stroked home his 30th international goal, making him the first player from Colombia to reach such a milestone, midway through the second half of a cagey encounter in Kazan, where defeat for either side would have meant elimination from the competition. Barcelona defender Yerry Mina scored the opener, powering a header beyond Wojciech Szczesny 5 minutes before half-time to enliven the contest, and the creativity and industry of Juan Cuadrado and James Rodriguez picked apart Poland's tightly stitched seams. The presence of James, fully fit again after a calf injury, vastly improved Colombia's link-up play following a below-par performance in its opening 2-1 defeat to Japan, and he provided the assist for Cuadrado to add a third goal that put the game well beyond Poland's reach. Victory leaves Jose Pekerman's side on 3 points in Group H, 1 point behind co-leaders Japan and Senegal ahead of their crunch match against the latter on Thursday. Poland will have a role to play in deciding the fate of the group when it takes on Japan, but ultimately head coach Adam Nawaka can have few complaints about being dumped out of the competition after 2 games in which his side failed to provide talismanic striker Robert Lewandowski with adequate service. 10 across the last 2 World Cup tournaments, 2014 and 2018, no player has scored more goals, 6, or provided more assists, 4, than James Rodriguez. Gifted. Colombia started to dominate the midfield and launch attacks down the right flank through Cuadrado, but the Juventus winger failed to penetrate a packed Poland defense. Nawaka's side set their stall out to avoid falling behind as they did in the first half of their 2-1 defeat to Senegal, and Colombia's chances of breaking their resolve were hit by an injury to Abel Aguilar, who was taken from the field on a stretcher in the 32nd minute and replaced by Mateus Uribe. But shortly after, Cuadrado came alive, running at the Poland defense and starting a move that culminated with an exquisitely weighted cross by James that was met by the head of Mina, who lost his marker to head over Szczesny's outstretched arms and into the net. Juan Fernando Quintero fired wide from 25 yards as Colombia started the second half brightly, and Cuadrado then squared to Falcao on the edge of the box, but the Monaco striker lifted his shot well over the crossbar. The isolated Lewandowski's first real chance of the game arrived in the 58th minute when he controlled a long pass brilliantly, only to shoot straight into David Ospina's midriff as Poland attempted its first shot on target of the game. Having survived that scare, Colombia came to life, and Quintero's superb slide rule pass presented Falcao with a one-on-one situation, and he expertly guided the ball past Szczesny with the outside of his right foot to double his side's lead. With 15 minutes left on the clock, James's pass from the left found Cuadrado in space through the middle, and he took a touch before applying an assured finish into the bottom right corner of the net. Colombia almost added a fourth after a mix-up between Jan Bednarek and Szczesny, but Uribe's back heel was cleared off the goal line to leave the final score 3-0. Key Opta stats: Poland is the first European nation to be eliminated from the 2018 World Cup. Colombia has won 3 of its last 5 World Cup meetings with European sides, W3D0L2, having won none of its first 5 against UEFA nations, W0D2L3, across the last 2 World Cup tournaments, 2014 and 2018. No player has scored more goals, 6, or provided more assists, 4, than Colombia's James Rodriguez. Colombia's victory means there has still been no goalless draw after 32 matches so far at the 2018 World Cup, the longest wait from the start of a tournament without one number 0-0s in 26 games in the entire 1954 tournament. 3 of Yerry Mina's 4 goals for Colombia have been headers. Juan Cuadrado has been involved in 6 goals in 7 World Cup appearances for Colombia, 2 goals, 4 assists. He scored his second World Cup goal today, exactly 4 years after netting his first, June 24, 2014 versus Japan. Radamel Falcao scored his 30th goal for Colombia and first at a World Cup. He is Colombia's all-time leading goal scorer.